No, I don't want to hear any Led Zeppelin right now. No Rod Stewart. No Ray Noble. No Hunters and Gatherers. No Dance Patrol. No... Oh, that's actually one of my favorite Bowie songs. Anyway, okay, I'm almost to the end here. Wow. Silver Fox Condor 46 asks, will you give one or two authors who have made a significant impact on your worldview? Well, we all know Alan Watts. Barbara Tuchman, her books A Distant Mirror, The Proud Tower, and The March of Folly, and also a book of hers called Bible and Sword about the relationship between England and Palestine. It was quite fascinating. Where I realized, that's the book where I discovered that the first Zionists were actually Puritans. That the notion, I mean, although obviously the Jewish community had this 2,000-year-old tradition of saying next year in Jerusalem, they didn't really mean it. The first actual political attempt to reestablish the Jews in Palestine was conceived by Puritans, British Puritans who wanted to bring on the apocalypse. You know, since obviously to have revelations come true, you had to have Jews in Palestine. Anyway, interesting book. What was the question? Oh, I think Mary Renault is fantastic. Christopher Isherwood had a big influence on me. Stephen King, early Stephen King, can't really get into too much, but his early sensibility had a big influence on me when I read his stuff. Richard Matheson before Stephen King, big influence. Rod Serling, Robert Heinlein, massive influence on me. Must be some others that I'm not thinking of right now. So more recently, Ray Kurzweil and Hans Moravec talking about the singularity, and Kurzweil and Moravec more or less single-handedly revived my interest in science fiction, because I had gotten to the point where most of the tropes or premises of science fiction that I had grown up with had either come true or I no longer believed in them. Like I don't believe we'll ever have interstellar travel that resembles, you know, sailing trips in any realistic way. We're never going to have a Star Wars type universe, or or any kind of faster than light or near light speed travel. So the whole idea of interstellar travel, intersolar travel went out the window, and robots, I don't think, blah, 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 blah. I'm so close to the end here. But basically, Kurzweil and Moravec made me realize that we are headed for all the evidence suggests that we are headed for a change in existence based on technological advancement that will be so vast as to amount to a change in the nature of human existence. But that's a subject for another vlog, of many vlogs. You should read Hans Moravec's Robot and Ray Kurzweil's The Age of Spiritual Machines. They're not. I'm not quite sure what the meaning of extropian is exactly. Whether the extropian people are all about people becoming cyborgs or whatever, but I think that the more meaningful future is that it is not a science fiction idea that we may all end up someday in a Matrix-like condition without the insect womb meat attached to computer aspects of the Matrix, but simply the idea that reality will be replaced by reality, that virtual will become so real as to supplant reality, and that so much that seems impossible now will become possible then. And it's fascinating to think about what the consequences of that will be, since it won't change the underlying, thus the underlying fundamental reality, whatever that is. Subject for another vlog. This is really long already, I can tell. Okay, let me see. Who is the YouTuber who you privately wish you could sit down and have a long coffee shop conversation with? Well, I want Shauna to come back again. And I got to meet a bunch of YouTubers at the Koala thing, and I like talking to them in person. It hasn't really translated out to me doing a lot of videos with them or talking with them. And I went to Stickham, and I, on the one hand, I was disappointed by Stickham, by the technology, and on the other hand, I saw how it could become a major time killer for me, so I've stayed away from it since. But in general, yeah, there are a lot of people here, lots of people, and I'd rather not single out anybody in particular, but there are people I would like to talk to. On the other hand, if I did meet them and I found it boring, I would be, because I'm so socially inept, I would be unhappy that I would be stuck in a position where all of a sudden we were now like buddies or something. I don't know. Yay. Terarbyte asks, what advice would you give a student who is about to graduate film school? Make films. The difference between when I went to film school, which was before cassette videotape, they still had reel-to-reel video in a big recorder that you had to hang around your shoulder, and the camera was separate for video, and then of course everything was mainly film, and everything was expensive and hard to do, and in order to make a film you had to get backers. But now anybody can do the most basic creative parts of making a movie, and so make movies. You know, write, shoot, get actors to act in, or do whatever it is that you want to do. It can all be done for free. Do stuff. Just do lots of stuff. I mean, that's somewhat what YouTube's about. The downside of the fact that that's all possible now is that it's easier to jump over that barrier between being able to do stuff and not being able to do it. But as a result, there are more people on the side of having stuff to show, and so it's harder to get known. There was once a time where the mere fact that you had gotten something done was worthy of notice, but now that's not true. So you better do a lot of stuff so you get better and better and become the most like what you want to do. And also learn to interact, learn to collaborate with people. Get involved with other people. That more than anything. I mean, and this is a problem I have. When left to myself, I become a one-man filmmaking operation, and I'm not the world's greatest collaborator. If someone puts me in the position, which has happened, of being in charge, I can give orders and get a result, but getting people to come and do a film with you is something really worth doing, and also working with other people, with them being in charge, is not a bad thing either. So just do lots of stuff. Do it. Don't wait. Do it. Just do it. Like Nike says. Nike is right.